What if I told you that the Taylormade Qi35 Max 10K could completely change your game? Let's try one off the deck. Stick around and find out why this might be the driver that you've been waiting for. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Taylormade Qi35 Max 10K and just having a look to see if it's worth all the hype. Now, I've been using this driver now for around about a month. I've got some real good insight to the driver and I'm just going to give you guys my complete and honest opinion. What I don't want people to think is that this is a completely magic driver, because it is absolutely far from it. Yes, I still slice the ball, and yes, I still occasionally hook the ball as well. That's right at the pin, get in the hole. Can you imagine? But what this has done for me is certainly tighten up the dispersion of the ball. By no means something that's going to cure the slice and the hook, but when you're hitting it just off centre, that's when it's going to help. Your swing plane has got to be online. It can't be slicing and hooking. It's when you hit the toe or the heel of the ball on plane. What I'm going to do shortly is do a little bit of a 10-shot challenge and see how many balls I can hit into the fairway off the tee. But I'm certainly hitting it a little bit further. I'd probably say around about 10 to 15 yards further. And I've been on the TrackMan and seen that I'm getting about 160 ball speed, and I carry it around about 260, 265, especially on a day like today. So in a moment, what I'll do is I'll go through the specification of my driver, the loft and the shaft. Now that's where I really saw the magic happen, was in the shaft that I got chosen for. So the weight of it, the stiffness and the length of it were all key contributors in tightening up my dispersion of the driver. Oh, I thought I was going to go in for birdie. Good job this is a driver review. That's a bogey. The driver that I'm using is a Qi35 10K Max. It's in 9 degrees of loft. I've got the black hazardous shaft, which is 80 grams, and that's a stiff shaft as well. I'm feeling more confident to hit it. Now, one thing I will say with this carbon face is it feels unbelievable. When you crunch one right out of the middle, that feeling that you get when you hit it is just absolutely amazing. And I'm probably hitting it around about 260, 265 carry, which is a bit longer than what I was doing before. Before I had a Callaway Rogue ST, I was hitting that around about 250 carry, rolling out to maybe 265. This one seems to roll out a little bit further. You know, sometimes I can crank it a little bit further to 270, 280. So this hole here is actually a great example of certain shots I used to be afraid of when hitting my Callaway, but not now that I've got this driver here, now that I've been properly fitted with it. It has given me an extra level of confidence to step up and actually hit my driver. You know, I've got to thread the needle between the trees here and try and get it on the second fairway, just on the other side down there, and the water is to carry around about 240, and I've got every confidence that I'm going to do that with this driver, which I didn't quite get with the Callaway that I was using before. So am I enjoying using the driver, and have I noticed some improvement to my game? I've only been using this driver for a month, so there's still a lot of testing to do, but for now I rate it highly. It feels nice, it looks great, I'm hitting more fairways, and when I'm not hitting fairways I'm not missing it by much, which is a big difference that I've seen. Whether that's more an improvement of my game or the driver helping me out with that, who knows? But so far, if someone was to ask me yes or no, I'd 100% say yes. It's definitely improved my game massively. So with that drive, I felt like I hit it a little bit off the toe, and as you can see, I'm only a few yards off the fairway. I've got 235 yards left in the green, and it gives me the confidence just to go again. You know, trying to reach this par 5 in 2 is something that I never really used to do. Just bringing a level of confidence to my game that I never knew I had. Mentioned before, you know, these drivers aren't magically just going to make your game a little bit better. You have to practice, you have to get a lesson, and you have to find out what the problem is, and also ask yourself, why do you want a new driver, and why that particular one? What is it that you're looking for in a driver? And then go talk to a professional, get a proper fitting as well. And that's exactly what I did. I had a word with a professional. I told him exactly what I was looking for, and he put me into the right driver. I wasn't necessarily looking for the Qi35. It could have been anything, but that was the one for me that, you know, I felt the most confident with, was getting the best results with as well. And you also have to be careful that this driver can give me an over level of confidence at time as well, where, you know, I feel like I can start swinging really hard and trying to get it down there as far as possible, which, you know, straighter is better than longer, but it can lure me into that false sense of security, and that's when I'll start hooking and slicing the ball. You have to be really careful with the marketing of these drivers, you know, longer, faster, straighter. I found it a little bit, but not too much that it had made a massive difference. You know, I was quite happy using the Callaway driver that I had, but I've noticed minimal changes with this driver. Whether that's relevant or not, you know, this was more of a want to have purchase as opposed to a need to have purchase, and that's something that you need to bear in mind before you spend that money. Now it's time for the ultimate test. 10 balls, one tight fairway. Let's see how many times I can hit the fairway using 10 balls. None out of one. Oh yes, beauty. That's the one. Straight as an arrow. Oh my gosh, that felt amazing. Ooh, low stinger. In the fairway though. With a low one. That's it, in the fairway. Whoa. That one nearly killed a bird. So let's head down, see how we got on. I know that I probably lost about 3 balls there. I hit 2 massive hooks and 1 big slice. Well, the slice one's not lost, it's just on the other fairway, so it is still playable. But let's have a look at how many we hit in the fairway. And it almost goes to show the forgiveness of this club. I mean, you know, I'm not striking it great there. I topped a few and hooked a few, but the result of how many we've got in the fairway, really reassuring. I'll take that, absolutely. So coming up to the fairway here, I've got 3 that I can see here that are all fairly close to each other, a bit of a difference in distance there. They're the ones that I hit a little bit straighter. 1 just over there in the right rough, 1 over there just in the left rough, and then 1 that's plugged in that bunker. So out of the 10 balls, that's actually 6 balls that are kind of playable from this fairway. Obviously there's still another one over that side, you could say 7 with 3 lost balls, and I'm not a massive fan of just rifling balls off anyway. So 7 playable balls, 3 completely in the fairway, 2 off the fairway. I'd say that's not a bad result. I'm pretty happy with that, considering my handicap and everything else. So Taylormade Qi35 Max 10K. Would I recommend it? 100%. Is it going to lower your handicap? No. Is it going to stop you slicing and hooking the ball? Absolutely not. Recommend getting the fit in, get it fitted into the right shaft for this club, and make sure that it is the right head for you, because this club isn't going to be for everybody. For me, I absolutely love it. I'd probably score it an 8 out of 10. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Even on the misses, it still feels really, really nice. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Another lost ball.